Welcome to Blue Clipper, a three-masted, gaff-rigged topsail schooner that we had the pleasure of joining for a sailing adventure around the East Caribbean islands of St Lucia, St Vincent and The Grenadines. With a handful of fellow guests and the ship's crew, we spent a week discovering hidden waterfalls, snorkelling with turtles, drinking rum punch on palm-fringed beaches, and, of course, hauling on plenty of ropes, as we sailed 175 miles through the Windward Islands. Join us, Kim and Del, at our picture-perfect anchorage in the shadow of St Lucia's iconic Petit Piton, as we settle into our comfy cabin and await the arrival of the remaining voyage crew.
So yes, welcome to Blue Clipper, guys, and St Lucia on what is to be a week-long fun in the Caribbean.
I think we can just attach. Okay.
So we'll just sort of go through the deck, have a look at what everything is, and then we'll go through a bit of line handling, some sweating and tailing, and see what things are. And we have the outer jib, the furthest out one, and then the inner jib, the one not so far out. We've got ropes to pull the sails up and ropes to pull the sails down, and this is the down hauls for our jibs. So when we are dropping the jibs, we'll need a few of you up here giving us a sort of fairly ready to sort of lean back on it, use my strength, use my weight to hold the line. Perfect. And into the bed. Other lines, we've got our mizzen sheets are the only things back here, so to control our mizzen sail with the wind. The radar is just over here.
Love you, Archie!
With introductions made, a safety briefing conducted, and a deck orientation with First Mate Archie complete, it was time to relax and get to know our home and shipmates for the following week. With strong wind forecast for the second half of our trip, Skipper Jack wasted no time setting sail south to St Vincent and the Grenadines, ensuring we'd make it to a few favourite spots while the weather conditions allowed.
Much easier to take off than put on.
Ready, Jack, go!
Yeah.
Ready on the throat! Ready! Ready, you guys? Alright, up on the throat! Up on the teeth!
We raised anchor at 9 p.m. and set off from Soufriere, marvelling at the star-filled sky and relishing the novelty of nighttime sailing in just shorts and t-shirts. With 9 crew on board, there was no need for us to take part in night watches, so we toddled off to bed, looking forward to waking up to a new view at dawn. We woke up not only in a new destination, but a whole new country, the St Lucia courtesy flag being lowered and replaced with the St Vincent and The Grenadines flag. After a breakfast of fruit, pancakes and eggs, we zoomed ashore for a morning exploring Chateaubelair and the gorgeously lush Dark View Waterfalls. Back on board, we worked off our lunch setting the sails and plotted a course for Tobago Cays, 30-something miles to the south in the Grenadines, flying along at 10 knots once clearing St Vincent's wind shadow to drop anchor before bed.
That's where the wind is coming from. Because they are.
Because
they are. Nice.
Just get yourself sorted and we'll do a dinghy ride about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes, first dinghy ride. So this is obviously a nature reserve, so turtles, stingrays, all that sort of thing. No fishing is allowed. When you guys go ashore, it's obviously, they say just see everything, take pictures, but don't take anything away with you. So we've got some snorkels and that sort of gear on board. If you haven't got it, we'll get it all out for that. The guys have been over this morning, they say it's not too bad. There's a little bit of chop, as you can imagine. But nothing like we're sitting here at the moment. It's a lot flatter, and the beach itself is it's very flat, so we can do a beach landing for those that want to just go selfie or paddle.
As Shauna says, wow. As if being dropped off on an idyllic white sand island in the Caribbean isn't cool enough, we got to snorkel with umpteen turtles, including green and hawksbill, watching them munch away on the grassy seabed and glide past us as they surfaced for air. What an experience and an absolute highlight of our trip.
I'm ready. Good. Beautiful. Okay.
Ease her out, flip her over.
Pretty overcast.
Whenever I go on sunny waters, I'm never outside.
A short afternoon sail brought us to the nearby island of Mayreau, where we cracked out the kayaks and paddleboards before the crew set up an extra special sundowner session on the beach, complete with Blue Clipper's signature homemade Caribbean rum punch.
I might kayak. Yeah.
Very best.
I have been looking forward to that.
We woke with a start at 5 a.m. on our fourth morning to the sound of an anchor dropping, which seemed strange seeing as we'd been on anchor off Mayreau all night. Up on deck, we found Archie and Luke preparing for a rescue mission, the port anchor chain having snapped and the anchor lying on the seabed somewhere nearby. With the starboard anchor put to work instead, the search party set about their task, while us guests relaxed with a book or a morning kayak session.
With two lines. Oh, like two on one side and then one. How much you have to pull out? Shackle, yeah. All in a day's work, honestly. And now just chain it.
This be called a lugless link?
Yeah, lovely.
Cool.
4 hours later, the mission was complete. the broken chain having been roped together, hauled on deck, and repaired with an emergency chain link. The crew's work was far from over though, with the main and schooner sails both needing reefed in anticipation of 25-knot winds for our sail north to Bequia.
2, 6, heave! 2, 6, heave! 2, 6, heave! 2, 6, heave! And they're called reefing pendants, I believe. And we're just wrapping them like we would a sail tie, but just on the bottom half of the sail. And that's basically reefing the sail. It's halving the size of the sail, so it'll withstand stronger winds. Nice one.
Hold the peak! Make fast, secure lines! Yeah, sheeted! Joe, get sail ties on it! Okay.
And on that, I can bump you off.
Yeah. So able to hit me. 1 and 2.
What's the purpose of the? I did notice that tops are different color. What's that called?
So these would be the main masts, and they're metal, steel, and these ones are wooden.
Okay.
So partly to keep weight down, you don't want any weight higher up than it needs to be.
Yeah.
We've only got one size of that, but it's pretty good in most winds really. So yesterday we had sort of up to 38 knots and it was fine. You probably wouldn't hoist it if you started at 38 knots, but...
After a morning lesson with Archie, learning all about Blue Clipper's sail configuration, we had the rest of the day to explore the characterful island of Bequia. We'd planned on hiking up Mount Peggy, but finding the trail on the northern side of the island completely overgrown, we settled for a wander along the white sands of Lower Bay and Princess Margaret Beach instead.
Hopefully it's a bit dry on the way back.
Alright, safety lines are good. Thank you.
Are we ready on the chick-chack? Are we ready on the peak? Ready on the bang?
Ready!
Alright, all the way through.
Come on. Almost there. It's reef. You're almost there. Come on. Easy job. Nice one. Almost there. Almost there, guys. Well, you're almost there.
With 2 days left on our Caribbean adventure, we continued our voyage northwards, slowly working our way back towards St Lucia in glorious sunshine, taking in the island views from the bowsprit, deck and helm.
Chasing the compass. There's a delay between your movement of the rudder and your movement of the wheel and the movement of the compass and the actual movement of the boat. So then you'll get people chasing the compass and the rudder's delayed. So then they just start doing this.
Oh, that's me for the first hour on any boat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, you get the feel of it, like. Yeah. Hold the beat!
Time to get the sheet.
Yeah.
Our arrival into the Pirates of the Caribbean Bay, aka Wallilabou, wasn't quite as exciting as Jack Sparrow's, but the crew still put on a good show, dropping anchor in deep water and tying the stern up to a tree.
How are you, man? Good. That's my job, what I do.
How much is the mango? Any star fruit?
I like the boat. Pretty cool, huh?
I'll be leaving midnight tonight. How much it is?
Sit at the table if you like. Excellent. Stuck to me again.
You on the lettuce or you throughout there?
I'll take a little bit before it goes west. Then I'll put it on a coat and that to you.
That's good.
Very nice.
With the wind against us for our return voyage to St Lucia, the crew weighed anchor at midnight, ready for a 13-hour sail to Soufriere, heading northwest for an extra 20 miles before we could tack in to our final destination.
Your job, just kind of stand there looking graceful, drinking coffee.
That's not always my job.
What do you mean? That's not
right?
Sometimes
Is that your job? Is that all you've seen?
I'm sure that's all I've seen.
Questions tea as well.
Sorry, no, it's Dale,
Dale,
have you got the camera, Dale?
And I think you're being kind when you say I look graceful.
See what's on the islands we have
Alright, start into the beach. A little bit slower.
Anchored back in our favourite spot below Petit Piton, we cooled off on the water before those with a head for heights donned a harness and climbed aloft for a bird's eye view of this spectacular spot.
Thank you.
No bother. Sorry about the rough landing.
Not at all.
It's the final morning and the end of a very busy voyage. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, that's so good.
Do we get a face on this?
Is this bit?
Hey, wait!
No, it's been a busy week, but a really good week. So thank you very much, guys, for coming on board and
Thank you.
exploring.
Thank you.
It's been really appreciate it. Right.
Whee.
There you go.
Ahoy ho, till we meet again.
And so, our voyage had come to an end. But lucky for us, we still had one more week to enjoy on board before waving our own farewells. A big thanks to the wonderful crew of Blue Clipper and to Venture Sail for making this trip possible. Subscribe for more sailing, hiking and outdoor adventures with us, Kim and Del, with more from the Caribbean coming soon. Thanks for watching and cheerio!
RGO on the sheet. Sick.
I will like and subscribe. Shot to me, but I don't